Welcome to Make Your Mark podcast, where guests share their experiences, insights, and tactics to help you accelerate your business. So building, scaling, and monetizing your business is made easier. And I will be your host, Kay Suthar. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Make Your Mark podcast. Now, oh my goodness, I am so excited for our guest today. Her name is Niki Hutchison, and I've been wanting to get her on this podcast for a long while, and we almost didn't make it today. Yeah, but she made it happen, right? Because when you're in business, things happen, scheduling, coordinating, it does kind of go to pot sometimes, but we made it happen. And she's going to come and talk to us about launches, about marketing, about business, all sorts of different things, because I've known her for about a year and I have seen her grown. I have seen her visibility. I have seen her everywhere. You can't look anywhere without seeing Niki these days, right? Which is awesome. We all need that. And so I'm going to do a deep dive with her and get into a conversation as to how she's done all of this. Okay. So stay tuned. Oh my goodness, Niki. I am super excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I can't wait for this chat.
Me neither. It's going to be exciting. Oh my goodness, I've got so many questions for you, right? But before we get into the nitty-gritty of all these different things in business, I would love for you to share with our audience today a little bit about your journey, right? Because we all know having a thriving business, being successful doesn't happen with a click of finger, right? There is a journey behind all of that. So what did that look like for you?
Do you know, before we even get into that, what you're saying about being successful, I find that really interesting. And it's something that I need to do some thinking about, is like, what is my definition of success? Because I think that it's really, really easy just to keep going, keep pushing, keep trying to grow and grow and grow without actually thinking, when is that point going to be when I can celebrate? And it made me think, because I have a podcast as well, From Overlooked to Fully Booked, and every single guest I've had on that podcast, I would class as successful. None of them class themselves as successful.
Wow.
So when I ask them this question, they go, "Oh yeah, I don't see myself that way."
You know,
And that's what, yeah,
perspective, isn't it? Right?
totally.
And so yeah, definitely, I guess success, it has a different definition for every single person, right, on the planet, whether you're in business or not in business, right? There is
Yes.
a definition for everybody. So I love that you picked up on that. That's awesome. Thank you, Nick.
So, oh no, I just find it really interesting. And I think we collectively, we need to get better at celebrating our own successes. So, I would class myself as still striving, still pushing hard, still growing. But my background is that I always knew that I wanted to work in advertising strategy. I did my first work experience in an ad agency when I was 14 in the strategy department. And I just absolutely fell in love with this idea that you could influence people's behavior by developing a deep understanding of their needs and wants. So that's always where everything comes from when I work with clients, when I work on my own business, is really understanding who the customer is, what they want, and how you can package it up in a way that is exciting and interesting to them. And it doesn't always work first time, so we've got to be resilient as well. So I spent most of my career working in advertising strategy in agencies. And then I actually launched my first business in 2012, which was a kids hip hop dance company, which sounds quite random and different. But I'd actually worked for the Scottish government for 2 years prior to that. They were our client, and I worked on a project for them looking into how to reduce antisocial behaviour amongst children and young people in Scotland. And the findings were that they need an activity that they love and or a really strong role model. And so I left that. I left after having my second child, and I knew that I wasn't going back there. And I thought, what can I set up? What can I do? I wasn't one of these people who'd wanted to have my own business. It was never part of the plan. But I had a really toxic boss. And so I'd lost loads and loads of confidence. And I just thought, I can't possibly start up any business that relates to marketing because, I'm not very good at that. Even though I'd been doing it for a very long time by that point. And so I set up this kids hip hop dance company. I thought I can provide both of these things, strong role models in our teachers and activity that they love. And grew it and developed it from one teacher teaching one class after school to a team of 40 at its peak, teaching all over Scotland, around 3,000 children every week. So, about 5 years in, I went quite a long way down the road of franchising that business, made a lot of investment in that, and then suddenly thought, hold on a minute. The reason I set up this business was to work around my young family. The majority of franchise opportunities, Scotland's a lot smaller than England. The majority of opportunities are going to be down south. The majority of classes are at the weekends, parties, etc. I'm going to be on the road down south, checking up on all these franchisees. This is not what I want to spend my life doing. And also, I come from a place of really valuing creativity, creating something from nothing, being very invested in the brand. And I thought, can I actually cope with giving up that level of control of my brand over to these other people? And I just thought, no, this is not the right move for me. So scaled back the business from being all over the country to just being back in Edinburgh, and then started my marketing company at that time. So I had a team running the dance business and then started this business from scratch, which was in 2017.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's been quite a journey. Oh my goodness. I didn't know half of those things about you, Nikki. So I've learned something there for sure. But I met you like last year, right?
Mhm.
2024. We met and I came to your event. Right now, I didn't know what to expect because I heard about you. It was actually, I think it was Aggie Maroney that connected us.
Yes, that's right.
And she was telling me like, oh my goodness, I'm speaking there. You have to come, you have to come, you have to come. And to be fair, I said to her, "Do you know what? Who is this person? Who's this host?" Right? She was like, her name is Niki Hutchison. And I was like, all right, can you please connect me with her? Right.
Yeah.
And that's when we connected, we spoke and we had a laugh, we had a giggle. I was like, right, I'm coming to your event, right? Didn't know what to expect. Oh my goodness, it was awesome. First of all, it was like in a castle. Was like, whoa, this is awesome. And the fact that you do this with Abby and both your personalities, you bounce off each other really nicely. It was really cool. And the way you kind of set that up and you've been doing it for a while now, that it was really epic to see, right? And
Thank you.
yeah, I loved it. And ever since I've been a fan, right? And
Well, likewise. And I really appreciated you coming up and taking that chance on us at that point because you didn't really know who we were.
no, but do you know what? It is about, I'm about connection, right? And I know you're about the same thing,
Yeah.
right? It's all about connection. And this is the reason why I didn't book the ticket straight away. And it was like, I want to connect with Nikki first. I need to get
Mm,
to know the host first. I want to find out about your personality. If we click, then no questions asked, I'm going to be there,
mm.
right? But it is all about that because we all know we had this conversation like events sometimes like it's disorganized, it's a bit of a mess, right? People like to talk it up and it's not what you expect. And therefore, I was like, it's always important for me to get to know the host first and then make
Mm.
a decision and then come along, right? Because otherwise, you're going to be here, there, everywhere, and you can't be. You got to make those different decisions and choices, right? In business.
Yes. Yes. Because
Yeah.
we could be anywhere, couldn't we? So
Yes.
much happening now.
It is, right? And this is it. But I'm so glad that we did connect because we've been like besties ever since now. And we're bumping each other at all sorts of different events now, which is
Yeah.
awesome. But one of the things I did want to speak to you about is from me just knowing you from like last year to now, right? Not knowing your background or what else you were doing. First of all I thought you did was that event, right? I didn't realize you had a
Mm.
marketing agency. It's not until I got to know you that I realized there's so much more to Nikki. Oh my goodness, right? But you have really up leveled your visibility, your marketing, right? And you are here, there, everywhere. You're traveling all sorts of places. You was in Ibiza, you was in Leeds, you was in London. You've been everywhere. You're speaking everywhere. How are you coping and managing and scheduling and coordinating all of that with moving into a new home and having a family?
Yeah, it's been a lot this year, I won't lie. We moved into our new house a month ago after having a very kind of nomadic summer, shall we say.
Okay.
Um, it was 6 months late, the house move. Anyway, how do I manage it? So, first of all, I've got excellent support around me. I'm very lucky. My husband, John, works full time in the business, and that means that we can make decisions. So, he's been out of the business for quite a lot of the last month setting up the house. So, for example, I'm in my house right now. This is our new podcast studio slash cupboard. um, and he made this, I didn't have to do anything for this. I now just come in and plug in and we go. He's, been organizing all the soundproofing and everything like that. Organized the build so that we had all of the connections in here. I have excellent support from him. I have excellent support from my family. My kids are now older now. One is away at university, one is in secondary school. So I don't have the same pressures as I used to have. And I think it's always really important to frame whether you have your own children or not, it's irrelevant. We always have stuff to deal with. Maybe it's aging parents. Maybe it's friends that you need to be there for. There are always demands on our time. And actually, when I started that dance company, there was a business accelerator. The NatWest Business Accelerator had just launched. And I really wanted to be part of it. I really wanted to apply, but I couldn't. I had to wait until my daughter was ready to go to school. So I had to wait 2 years. And that is tough for somebody who's impatient like me. But now I'm in this era of being able to have more freedom to go all in on my business.
Wow.
And so, with whatever that support may look like, if you don't have that support from your immediate family, your partner, whoever it may be, like find it, build it, get it from somewhere because you can't build a business on your own. I think that applies in terms of the support that's around you and the people who are coming on the journey with you. So get that in place. And then I say that like it's really easy. It will take time. Focus on setting yourself up for success, basically, in the background. And then it is about prioritizing. I try and run a lean business so that I can invest in the opportunities that I want to when they come along. So I try and plug any money gaps. We'll do, regular check-ins on what software we're using, whether we should be switching to something else, all that kind of thing. I think carefully about what we do invest in. And then in terms of time, it is about time blocking.
Mm.
And also, it is about how much you're prepared to work. So, I've got a friend who always says, the bags under my eyes are Prada. I feel like that's the era that I'm in right now. I'm like, don't look at my Prada bags. Because I am working a lot of the time, 7 days a week. I'm doing something on my business. I said to John yesterday, oh, it's so nice. I don't have to go anywhere today. That
Wow.
was Sunday yesterday. Don't have to go anywhere this Sunday because last Sunday I had to go down to London ready for Monday. The Sunday before that, I was speaking in Leeds.
Great.
Next Sunday, I'm flying to LA with Adobe. I'm an ambassador for Adobe Express. So all really exciting things to do, but they do take a bit of a toll. So you'll normally find me on a Saturday morning, even if I'm at my desk, I'm in my dressing gown. I'm not getting dressed till lunchtime because I don't have to. And that gives me that sense of relaxation and peace and just, I can catch up on myself.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll go full tilt for as long as I possibly can, but I'll build in those little windows of complete laziness.
Do you know what? I do the same thing. Come weekend, right? Like hit the gym on Saturday, come home, like I'll probably pass out and have a snooze on the sofa, right? Then get up slowly, go have a shower, then like go eat, whatever. And then it's like Netflix. Right, like
Yeah.
let's just put some Netflix on and that's it, not do anything, not have to think, right, about
Yes.
anything and just watch some Netflix, right, and wind down. And then come Sunday, we're just cooking all day for the rest of the week, so I don't have to cook for the week, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and it is just PJ's day,
Yeah.
right? the rest of the weekend. So I
Yeah.
hear you on that. Like
Mm.
that's needed. That's totally needed. And I'm glad you mentioned that because my next question was going to be like, how do you wind down? How do you pour more into yourself so you can pour into others?
It's hard.
Mm,
I find it really hard. And I have this conversation quite a lot because I come from a long line of ambitious women.
right.
Um, and it's almost like we've been conditioned that that we need to be productive in order to be a useful member of society. And do we always need to be productive? No. Well, we need to be accepted for not being productive all the time. And that includes us accepting ourselves. I find it very hard to value myself if I'm not being productive. I love nothing more than multitasking. I'm
Wow.
trying to train myself out of it. I love nothing more than managing to be really efficient. Efficiency is a massive driver for me. And that's not always a good thing.
Mm,
So, to your question about how do I wind down, I'm currently trying to clear space in my diary so that I can have a day off this week before I go to LA on Sunday,
nice.
even just a half day. It's about diary management for me, basically. And sometimes I will clear space if space doesn't exist.
Okay.
And most weeks I will try and have a clear day with no calls so that I can work in my dressing gown all day if I want to.
Hey, oh, I love that. Okay. Now, Nikki, I want to get into more of the nitty-gritty stuff, right?
Okay.
You are the queen of launches, right? All
Okay.
launches, all sorts of launches. And it was not until I came across you and the fact that you have an event coming up to do with
I
launch,
do.
right? And
Yes.
as soon as you told me, I was like, okay, I got a book, right? I didn't realize there's so many ways of doing launches and I cannot wait. So I want you to explain to our audience a little bit about what launches mean to you, why it's important, and maybe some of the different launches you have tried
Mm.
that don't have to take months on end and your energy and sleep and everything else into it. And it can be simple launches that work for your business.
Yeah, I love this question. So, first of all, launching, let's talk about what launching is.
Mhm.
Launching is a bit of jargon, to be honest.
Okay.
Like the word launching is online business jargon, in my opinion, because having worked in advertising for my entire career, a launch is simply a focused campaign. So it's a focused marketing campaign to sell one thing over an intense period of time. And you'll see big brands doing launches. So if Coca-Cola or Pepsi bring out a new flavor, they do a launch for that. That doesn't mean that they turn up and do a 3-day challenge and then a masterclass to launch their new flavor. They would never do that. So it's basically a launch is a marketing campaign. And I think that taking away that word launch and using the word campaign instead gives you a certain level of freedom. So it gives you the freedom to decide how you want to show up. What does that campaign look like? What are the channels that you want to use? What is the moment that you want to create, that intense moment of awareness, let's say, that you want to create? So when I started this business, all I was doing was marketing, coaching, one to one, taking on one to one clients. And then I thought, right, I want to do something, I want to launch some kind of membership or group program or something like that. And so I didn't do a challenge or a masterclass or anything like that. This was, 2018. Um, Simply what I did was I thought, what can I do that's going to bring other people along on this journey with me? And I think that that's a really crucial part of any marketing campaign is not simply relying on your own channels, but helping bring external channels. So maybe it's people with bigger audiences, maybe it's corporates who've got staff, whatever it is, other audiences that you can help to amplify this campaign that you're running. Um, so I went out and I had a network of small business owners in Edinburgh from having grown my own business already. And I went out to them and said, look, I want to launch this membership, it was at the time, and I want to get you involved and I want to raise some money for charity. So let's do like a raffle and I'm going to do a live. We didn't call it masterclass back then. I'm going to do a live. I'm going to talk about the things that, so if you each donate something that relates to your business, we're going to have this big prize fund. And then we're going to raise some money for charity. Can't actually remember the specifics of how we did that. We must have taken donations or something as well. And then off the back of that, it basically amplified my awareness of me that I was no longer simply the dance company owner. I was now offering marketing coaching. But, you know, I got things wrong. I got everybody to send their prizes to me. And then I had to send them all out to people. These were not online prizes. These were things like books and stuff like that, soaps and things. So it's okay to get things wrong. But I wanted to try something new. And this whole idea of online launching, I'm sure it did exist in 2018. I was not really aware of it. People weren't doing it in the same way that everybody seems to be doing it now, I'm sure. Is how it feels or how it seems to somebody who's new to the space. You're kind of thinking, oh God, everybody's been launching online forever. No, not the case. So a couple of things. It's okay to try and it's okay to fail. Give yourself permission to do that. And I always think it's a good idea to try and do things differently. So if you're looking at people running online launches today and thinking, oh, I wouldn't do it that way, I would like to do something else. Brilliant. Brilliant. Do something else and test it, but get people on board to help you because that's what you're going to need. I've just come off a membership call. I have a membership now, different one from the one that I had in 2018. And I've just come off a call where somebody was saying exactly that. You know, I need to do a launch, but I only have, I think it was 175 people on my email list and a certain number of Instagram followers. Okay, that's fine. You can still launch. You won't be able to launch in the way that you see the big names doing with affiliates and 6 months of planning, like you were talking about, Kay, and getting these £1 million sales. But you can still launch, and every launch that you do should build on the previous ones. So definitely start before you feel ready.
Oh, okay. Now I love that because I know that when I did my first launch last year, actually, I didn't feel ready at all. I was like, this is gonna
Mm,
be a mess. It is not organized. It's like all over the place, trying to figure things out. Oh, this doesn't work. All right, let's switch it and try something else. And even while you're in the midst of it, you're constantly changing things and seeing what works and what doesn't work, right? And you just kind of gotta go for it at the end of the day.
yeah,
Right. And however it works out, at least you know for the next one you do, right? There's certain things you don't do and things that you need to improve on and all that kind of stuff. So I totally, totally get that. But it doesn't stop you being in a complete frenzy, right?
totally. But I really like what you said there
Mhm.
about as you go through it, you will see what's working and what more is needed. And it doesn't matter how much planning you do. Definitely do lots of planning, by the way, but it doesn't matter how much you do. You're still going to want to change things because you'll see that your launch is evolving. You'll see what messages people are responding to most. You'll realize, maybe the sales are not coming in. Maybe I need to show more evidence of my work and maybe I need to get more people involved. And so, yeah, it is always, I believe, going to be a movable feast that you have to stay really agile. But to me, that's the fun of it. But then obviously, this is my background running campaigns. So I enjoy that. If you're somebody who doesn't enjoy that and that just sounds terrifying, then get the right support in place. People who can either say to you, now's the time that you need to try this, or like we offer in our agency, a team who can basically run the launch for you.
Yeah, for sure. Now, one of the things that I identified, right, from doing the launch last year, then doing a
Mm,
launch this year, and I was like, yep, I've got it on point. I know exactly what I'm doing. I did it last year, what not to do, what to do. And then what happens? You're like, holy crap. the market's changed. What is happening right now? Right? Like you're not getting the numbers, like the same thing that you did, the same post. It's not working this time. So how do you keep up with the market constantly changing, right? And still doing launches at the same time?
Again, it's about making sure that you have the right people around you. So I break down launching into three phases,
Mhm.
three simple phases. So there's the prep that we've talked about, making sure that you are planning what you're going to be doing. Then there's the promotion when you're in the launch and you've got to get that everywhere. So if you think it's whatever it is that you're promoting, if you think it's okay to rely on one channel, I'm really sorry, it is not. You need to be talking about your thing over and over and over again until you are sick to the back teeth of it, probably until you're a bit exhausted. And you've just got to keep going. You've got to keep pushing. And at that moment where you think, I just cannot do anymore, that is when the sales will start coming in. But the third bit is what I call the prodding. You've got to do the outreach. And that is what has changed significantly over recent years because the online business world has grown, because so many more people are launching, because we have the technology, quite honestly, to have the freedom to launch more things. The space is busier, right? The space is really, really busy. So even if you're doing all the promotion that you possibly can on all the different channels, people are going to see you if you're lucky. And if they do see you, they're going to forget you because of attention spans changing, because something else has come along in the meantime since they saw your thing. So it's our responsibility to make the sales happen. And that's where this prodding comes in, the outreach, obviously not physically, but like just reminding people gently that you're here and doing it in different ways. And it was at the event that you were at. So I run an annual event called Adventures in Marketing with my friend Abby. And I talked about a launch experience that I had had where one person who then went on to join my program, but one person, we had 59 interactions before she joined. And those were voice notes, those were messages. We went between WhatsApp, Messenger. She was commenting on posts. I was tagging her on posts. Obviously, we were emailing. So all these different touch points, but 59 times it took before and she was somebody who'd been in my world for a while. And I told her that I was going to share this story. Obviously, I didn't name her name, but she was like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's my decision making process. It just takes me a while. And that's what you'll have. You'll have people who will jump in straight away. You'll have people who will hang back and maybe jump in at the last minute. And you'll have people who won't jump in this time, but
Yeah,
they'll come back next time. And that's why it's important to not give up after your first launch as well.
definitely. Oh my goodness. Now, that's an awesome epic story, right? Because I had something similar to that who actually was watching my podcast series around
Okay.
podcasting, right? And she was watching the video. She even took a picture of her with a notebook and pen watching
Ah, love
our
that.
series, saying that she's been taking notes and been following. And this series had 13 episodes, right? So she went through all 13
Wow.
episodes. Then, keeping in the kind of podcasting theme, I actually have like a little widget on my podcast website where they can send me voice notes if they've got questions, right? And it
Cool.
comes into my email, then I can reply back through and answer and all that kind of stuff. So we had a conversation on there. Then she joined the challenge, right? And the
Hmm.
launch that I was doing and then purchased. But that was months of interaction prior
Yes.
to her joining the challenge and jumping on the course, you know?
Yeah. And I
That,
think that is another key point that you've identified there is that it's now taking longer normally for people to trust you and buy from you because the online space is so busy. Unfortunately, not everybody is ethical. Not everybody is selling knowledge that is deep in their subject area. So a lot of, and not everybody has the stamina to keep showing up for their audience or the desire. So quite a lot of people have been burned. So when you're trying to launch something to your audience, chances are you're probably trying to sell to somebody who has been burned by somebody else in the past. So quite rightly so, they're going to take longer to trust the next person. And we have to account for that. We have to make sure that we are the one who is showing up. So if I can talk about my membership for a minute, I decided to run free sessions called Marketing Mondays every Monday morning. And I ran those for over a year. So 2nd of September 2024 was the first one. And the last one was the end of September 2025, before those now have been moved inside my paid membership, still very affordable, but they happen inside the membership now. And I only opened the doors to the people who had signed up to Marketing Mondays, so that right now we're in a phase of onboarding, essentially. So we've got our core founder members who were on that list, who showed up to the free calls, who got to know me, who got their questions answered, who could really test out whether they could trust me or not. They're now inside the membership, and we're making sure that we're developing it in a way that works for them. It's all around accountability. It's not about it's about helping you get more done, not giving you more to do. So inside there, we're again making sure that they can trust us fully inside the membership to do what we are promising to do before we open the doors more widely to everybody else who wasn't on that Marketing Mondays list in November. So that's a whole year of showing up before. Now, obviously, some of them bought different things from me over the course of the year, but that is a whole year of showing up before. So 52 weeks or something, or, 50 minus Christmas. Didn't show up on Christmas Monday. Yeah, it takes longer, but now they're straight away, they're founder members. I hope that they will stick around for a long time because we've built up such a level of trust. So if somebody's listening to this and thinking, I don't have that audience yet, I don't think I know whether people trust me yet, then my advice would be to find a way to prove yourself. And again, I talk a lot about responsibility. It's our responsibility to do the outreach. It's our responsibility to prove to people that we are trustworthy before expecting them to buy from us or engage with us in any way at all.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. Niki, I feel like I can speak to you all day long, right? There's so much we could cover on this topic even further. But I know at this point, Niki, probably people are thinking, okay, I need to get hold of Niki. I need to learn more about her. So where can they all go to find out what else you do and how you can help them?
So first of all, I know I can't wait to welcome you along, but I am running an in-person event in London on the 10th of November called Launch Like a Pro. We have got some incredible speakers. More are being announced this week. And it is really about helping you do these three things when it comes to launching: prepare, promote, and prod. So you're going to get support from some real launch experts in the room on the day. So that is on my website. It is not a very catchy URL, but my website is nikihutchison.com, and then it's /launch - pro. Definitely should have shortened that. But if you're not available to come to that, then I also have my podcast, From Overlooked to Fully Booked. That's at nikihutchison.com /podcast. And I am very active on Instagram, which is just my name, Niki Hutchison. Awkward spelling, but I'm hoping that it'll be in the show notes.
Absolutely. So guys, all the links that Niki has mentioned will be in the show notes. So if you didn't catch that here, then make sure you go and check that out and try and get to her event, right? Not only are you going to meet her and all these other experts, you'll meet me too, right?
Yes.
You'll be there. And I cannot wait for this event because there's so much more I need to learn around this myself as well. Niki, thank you so much for joining us today on another short notice and being able to get prepared and join us today. It was amazing. And oh my goodness, I can't wait to be at this event and see what else you have got for all of us. It's gonna
loads in store. But thank you so much for having me on today, Kay. Really great to chat with you.
Thanks for listening to Make Your Mark podcast at www.makeyourmarkpodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get this and every other episode that comes out. We have lots of great stuff coming, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And thank you in advance for all the reviews and comments. I appreciate it so much, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.